Hello and welcome to this BuyBotPro video. So today I'm going to be giving you 3 ideas of the sorts of items you'll probably want to incorporate into your inventory ready to sell in Q4. Now at the point of recording this, you should already be prepping for Q4. And if you are just watching this right now at the point of recording this, so like halfway through September, then there should be alarm bells ringing and you need to be getting ready for Q4. It is vital, and having everything in place just makes for a smoother Q4, because trust me, as much as we love Q4 and the amazing fruits that it brings, it's also hard work as well. And the more that you can do in advance of Q4, the better it's going to be in terms of work and how much it is that you physically have to do. So here's 3 ideas of the sorts of things that you will probably want to consider looking into to sell in that Q4 period. Now, I think it's very easy to get lost in the mindset of, what are people going to be buying for people? And basically it's going to be all manner of things. There isn't really going to be a drastic case of right or wrong here, because, toys and games, electronics, beauty, literally all categories, there's going to be stuff that people are going to, buy for their loved ones, friends, whomever. And we can get really lost down that trail of thought and go down so many rabbit holes with that. And when doing that, of course, as you have been doing sort of like Amazon over the past year, doing your sourcing and analysis, you'll have no doubt already come across, for example, something in the toys and games category. It could be a Lego set that does really well, particularly in that Q4 period. That's great. Having things like that is amazing, but as I say, we can get really lost down that trail of thought, and then as we go on, we can find it a struggle thinking, what are people going to buy people? What are people going to buy people? And finding something that does really well during the Q4 period. However, as well as thinking outside the box, because that's great, and that's what leads to having a great business as well. Don't just think outside the box, think a little bit closer to home as well. So reel it in a bit too, and think of the very basics, because it's always the obvious stuff that we can tend to overlook. And so I'm going to give you 3 ideas, as I say, of the sorts of things you may want to consider selling during the Q4 period. And the first one you would have probably noticed already at this point, it is a Lynx Africa gift set. I'm not saying this one exclusively, but overall gift sets, that's the idea I want to put to you. Bundles are a fantastic way of basically getting an item out there, a bundle set of items out there that can really do super well. Unique bundles, lots of sellers are getting into that sort of thing because there is a lot of success to be found in creating a unique bundle, or indeed sort of like following on to the kind of bundles that are already available on Amazon. So if you're not sure what a bundle is, it's basically where you combine 2 or more items together, and that is a bundle. So for example, it could be a shampoo and a conditioner. In this case, it is a sort of like shower gel thing, body wash and a body spray. And the reason why I've chosen this example is because obviously, what man out there doesn't get something like this for Christmas? It's one of those kinds of items, and you see it everywhere. Every store will have something like this at this point in time, because that's how early they tend to start. The dreaded Lynx gift set. But in general, the idea of gift sets should be something you should think of. So think of bundles, think of gift sets, things like that. And obviously, if you are analyzing a bundle, then don't forget to flick on that toggle and make sure that your bundle prep fee is in your BuyBotPro settings. Provided that your prep center does charge you a bundle fee, just enter in whatever that is into BuyBotPro. Just ensure that that's there. Anyway, this is a gift set, right? Now, it's nothing really to look at if we were to look at, say, the last couple of months. It's nothing that special. But then this is what you should be doing on every item that you want to sell around the Q4 period, because it doesn't look great right now. None of the examples I'm going to show are going to look great at this point in time. And of course not, because these aren't things that tend to do that well in Qs 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3. It's Q4 is where it's at. And if we click on 365 days, you can see right then it's made very simple by the sales heat map. October through to December. That is the key sort of like sales period for this item. And you can see that all of the information as well corresponding on the chart gets a lot better during that time as well. So this is something where at worst, BSR wise, it was at 72,437, and at best it was at number 7 in November, number 3 a bit later on in November. It's such a drastic change, and so because of that you can be fairly certain that it is going to go that way again. And if we look at this, right, so October is the transition period where it went from really naff to doing a lot better, and then November is when it was well and truly secured in terms of really good sales. Now if we look over summer, didn't do that great, it's done okay, but then look now. So in late August, I think people must have started shopping for this kind of stuff a bit earlier, right? The BSR went from 24,000 to averaging at 10,000, 9,000, right? That sort of area. So it's going on the same kind of trajectory as it did last year, and will probably do just as well in October, November, December, right? This is the sort of thing, as I say, that literally every man gets. So when you receive these sorts of things and you think, oh, well, I expected I'd get something like that because literally everyone does, and it's so common in the stores. Hang on a minute, it's really common. Lots of people will be buying them, right? So, and you can already see that there using this chart right here, that this item is a certified Q4 gem. So think of gift sets, think of bundles. And as I say, don't forget, if you are looking at items, so if you're looking at a shampoo, say, flick on the bundle toggle. Then if you go to look at the conditioner, say, to combine them as part of a bundle, flick on that toggle, have your bundle fee in there. Otherwise, gift sets, just leave that normal and continue analyzing, right? Because this is already done for you. Idea number 2, things like this. So this is a Quality Street sweet tub. So all forms of chocolate and sweet tubs are going to be really popular at that time of year. The only thing that you have to be wary of when it comes to anything edible is obviously expiry dates, right? And so you don't want to get these things into, with chocolates and candies, you tend to be safe because these things actually tend to last a very long time. But obviously just be conscious of expiry dates still, because when you're buying them from wherever it is you've sourced it from, it could be that they've had them in stock for a long time already, and so by the time you've actually bought it, there's maybe only like a month or something left on it. So just be wary about expiry dates. This is where these sort of things might be that bit better with doing retail arbitrage, because you can observe this yourself. But typically, as much as these things are sold throughout the year, they do stock up quite a lot for this kind of period from now till, say, January. So expiry date should be okay, even if you're doing online arbitrage wholesale, but just be wary of it, right? Now, again, doesn't look like it's anything mind-blowing at this point in time, but 365 days, and you can see that whilst it is not particularly something that did well for the entirety of the Q4 period, it is a certified Christmas gem. So people thought, I need some snacks for the dinner table. I need some snacks for Christmas for the relatives. What am I going to do? Tubs like this are excellent. The sort of thing that most households will have out around that Q4 period. So again, something very, very common, but don't overlook it, because it's gonna do well in that period. And so chances are, because it did it last year, it will also do it again this year, and it's just common knowledge as well. That these tubs are going to be doing better in the Q4 period, because they're just what's associated with that space of time in the year. Right. So that's idea number 2. Think of those sorts of things. it might be as well that you create your own unique bundle of certain chocolate bars, say like several sort of like chocolate bars in like a special basket or something like that, and that is your unique bundle. So there's just some ideas for you. Idea number 3. Now this one you might be thinking, what, really? But don't just think about what people are going to be buying other people. Think what people are going to be buying themselves. So these are some Christmas tree lights, right? People will buy this kind of stuff every single year. For some people, it'll be their first sort of like Christmas if they're a couple and they've just sort of like moved in together, or they're doing it at, you know, one of the others, or it could be a family's first Christmas, or, you know, people tend to sort of like throw their older stuff out. You know, bulbs can go wrong. They might just get sick of it, and so they just want it all new. And, you know, they might just want more. There's all manner of reasons as to why people will want these sort of things. So decorations, Christmas trees, Christmas tree lights, things like that, stuff that people will decorate their houses with, because most people, let's face it, do decorate. Even if it's not on the outside, most likely there'll be something on the inside. So Christmas tree lights, that's just an example I've come across, whereby you think, wow, well, definitely not. Like, look at all that white space on the sales heat map, and look at the BSR. But again, 365 days, November through to December, and even January, because people will get on these things whilst they go on sale, ready for the Christmas to come, right? So November through to December for sure. Look at that. So what, 16,000, and it goes down to sort of like 298, 300 there. So it does really well around that period. And again, it's not particularly something that someone's going to be buying for someone else, but it's stuff that people will buy for themselves. And again, that's where we need to reel it in and think about, okay, well, how do I do my Christmas? How do most people end up doing their Christmases? You know, lots of people put out decorations. Okay, so lots of people will probably also be buying new decorations. So there you go, idea number 3. Christmas decorations. Thank you for having stuck with me. I feel like I have ranted a bit in this video, but reel it in, as well as thinking outside the box at times. And as I say, consider everything that I've said in this video. Take those 3 ideas. Hopefully they're really helpful, not just for this Q4, but they are applicable to every Q4 you have whilst you're selling on Amazon. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you soon.